Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillowFan85. I'm back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my X Plus 1995 Gamera figure. So this was definitely one that I've been wanting to get through for a while here. X Plus is a brand that certainly has a really great reputation for just amazing movie accurate sculpts on their figure designs. Just really second to none, essentially. I'm not really into collecting the X Plus figures, though, just because of the fact that they're almost like statue pieces. For the most part, they really don't move. Again, for the most part. So, and of course they're extremely expensive, even more so than SH Monster Arts. But when I did see this guy a while back, I was definitely very tempted. It was, at the time, at least a decent deal. So I went ahead and picked it up. So this is officially my one and only X Plus figure in my collection. But definitely great to have it. I do love Gamera and actually the 1995 incarnation of Gamera. This is my favorite Gamera design. And actually, the film that's from Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, is my personal favorite Gamera film as well. The Heisei trilogy in general, the Gamera movies were awesome. So this figure, this was an older release X Plus, so I believe that it came out in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. Basically coinciding with the release of Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. I think so, though. Don't 100% quote me on that. But nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and jump into this figure review. So let's take a look at this. And this is where X Plus really shines, is the paint and the detail. Like I said, just essentially second to none here. So as you're seeing, camera a little bit. You got all the greens, definitely green throughout, but it's not just plain green. There's actually shades of different color greens, some lighter, some darker, all throughout the figure, even on the shell here, back of the shell. And you've got all the grooves on the shell as well, and you got some sort of like rough texturing on them as well. You got all the lines separating the different parts of the shell. Very cool. You got almost like this sort of, it's not really spiked, but these pieces that run along the back, they almost come up to a tip there. All lovely detailing, all the bumps and grooves, all captured throughout. And of course you got the scales and the wrinkles as you look at his neck there. Done very well, textured very well. And you've got these sort of rivets that run from almost his nostril area up to essentially the neck right there, so you guys can see on the top of his head. Again, more wrinkles and scales on his head as well. Of course, you got the protruded eyebrows there. And of course, you got these eyes. And really captured very well here. Got the white eyes with the greenish pupils, and then of course sort of bluish black dots at the center of the eyes there. And you've got all the detail work done for the eyes as well, and capture different pigments and lines and whatnot. So awesome. Very indicative of the 95 Gamera's look here. Really cool. Now taking a look at the mouth there. So you got the teeth. Now you got these beautiful done tusks with the sharp tip on the ends of them. You got this sort of creamish bone color with almost a bit of a hint of like an ivory sort of touch in them. You'll see that with some of the other bonish sort of parts. And then of course you got, again, like a creamish bone color for the teeth on the inside of the mouth. And of course you got this sort of pinkish red for the gums and the tongue. And a lot of detail work done for the roof of the mouth. Doing the best I can to see if the camera will pick that up. But it looks really, really awesome, all the way into the back of his mouth, basically up to his throat area. And of course, you got the detail for the tongue, captured extraordinarily well. Very, very awesome. All the details in the face look very well. Again, the neck, more of the wrinkles and scales on the bottom part of the neck. And then, of course, you got his chest and abdomen area with all those, that patterning that Gamera's got. Looks really, really good. Awesome. I know he's got that mana beam that opens up from his chest, but that's not in the 95 film. That comes in the next one, Gamera 2, Advent of Legion. But you can still see all that detail work, and you kind of know that that's where the beam would actually open up from his chest there. But look at all the detail, all the scales and wrinkles, all those, that design patterning there. Really, really awesome. Really trying to showcase for you guys here. Again, more of the scales and wrinkles along the arms. Here. Looks really, really good. Try and see if the lighting will capture that somewhat well. And of course, again, you got more of that creamish bone color for the claws on his hands there, and that's where you see a little bit of that ivory hint on some of these claws. Looks really, really cool. The detail work on the hands are captured very well, as you guys can see there. Awesome. And then, of course, more detail, wrinkles and scales for his legs as well, and even some musculature, as you guys can see. Got like the kneecaps there, and then sort of musculature, thighs, and of course down the legs into the ankles here, and of course all the detail work, scales and whatnot along the feet. And again, that creamish bone color for the claws with that ivory hint done on them as well to really give them that bone look. So that's just really, really awesome attention to detail. And obviously the bottom of the feet, pretty much plain Jane. And you do have, of course, the copyright information here on the bottom of this foot. 95, 96, 99, representing the years that the Heisei films were released. Made in China, and of course X+, as you guys can see there. And of course, looking down here, again, got the tail, the scales and wrinkles and whatnot. And again, you can see all the greens, how they all pop, because it's not just one solid green throughout as well, but there are different shades of green. There's even, again, on the on his shell, on his back, you can even almost see some yellowish highlights as well, and that is done on purpose. So very, very awesome. I mean, you can't say it enough for how well put together these X Plus figures are. It really, really just blows me out of the water. But that pretty much does sum it up for the paint and the detail there. A lot to go over, so just kind of trying to do the best I can with this, folks. Now, as far as articulation, again, it's an X Plus figure, and that's why I'm not too big into collecting these. They look great, but extremely pricey, and again, for the most part, you don't really get any movement out of them. There are a few figures that have exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, they're almost like statues, and of course, this guy is no exception. Now, when I got him in the package, I don't have the package anymore, but he came apart. He was all in separate pieces, so you had like the main body here, and of course, you had the head and neck, and the arms and legs, and then the tail, and they all had to plug into the main part of his body. And that was a heck of a chore, to say the least. That took me a very long time, because the joints, even trying to loosen them up, with the hot water baths and everything, they really did not want to pop into place, and it took everything I had to finally connect everything together. But once I did, it was definitely worth it, because again, this is, to me, just such an awesome figure. So like I said, though, otherwise, though, there's no articulation on this guy. Now, as far as scaling goes, now this is the thing. This is, like I said, this is an older X Plus release. Most people nowadays are used to them being like the 25 to 30 centimeter figures. This one is not quite that. This one is actually more like a 7-inch figure. Now, just to showcase, I do have the ruler here, and I'll lift the camera just to kind of showcase to you guys. Like I said, it doesn't always pick it up the best, but if you kind of look, because he's hunched forward a little bit in his stance, but if you kind of look at the shell and try to line it up, it actually does line up to pretty much about 7 inches. So that's pretty much the scale range that this guy is in. So comparatively speaking, this is a smaller figure than what you're used to for the X Plus figures. And just to do a little size comparison, I've got my NECA 1954 Godzilla, which is in that 7-inch range. And you guys can see that they pretty much scale in pretty perfectly together. Again, he's hunched forward slightly, so it's a little hard to tell, but when you see the shell, it does pretty much line up with Godzilla there. So, very, very cool. And lastly, as far as pricing goes, well, again, like I said, in general, X Plus figures are extremely pricey, usually hundreds of dollars. This guy, when I got him, I lucked out, I guess, with the timing and all that. I got him for around $50. But nowadays, if I've looked online, if you're going to check on eBay, et cetera, I've seen these figures, and they do have the 96 and the 99 Gamera as well. You're usually looking at about $100 and above for these figures. So just kind of keep that in mind. Again, it's X Plus, so you know this is one for sure that's going to be pricey. But nonetheless, if you're in the market and you do like X Plus, this is really, it's an older figure, but it's, in my opinion, absolutely phenomenal, very movie accurate, and just really is a great display piece, so you can't go wrong. But other than that, though, folks, I think that about wraps it up for this video. I would like to certainly thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.